ministry. So for today's verse is Genesis chapter 27, verse 15 to 29. Then Rebekah took the best clothes of Esau, her older son, which she had in the house, and put them on her younger son Jacob. She also covered his hands and the smooth part of his neck with the goat skins. Then she handed to her son Jacob the tasty food and the bread she had made. He went to his father and said, "My father." "Yes, my son," he answered. "Who is it?" Jacob said to his father, "I am Esau, your firstborn. I have done as you told me. Please sit up and eat some of my game, so that you may give me your blessing." Isaac asked his son, "How did you find it so quickly, my son?" "The Lord your God gave me success," he replied. Then Isaac said to Jacob, "Come near, so I can touch you, my son, to know whether you really are my son Esau or not." Jacob went close to his father Isaac, who touched him and said, "The voice is the voice of Jacob, but the hands are the hands of Esau." He did not recognize him, for his hands were hairy like those of his brother Esau. So he proceeded to bless him. "Are you really my son Esau?" he asked. "I am," he replied. Then he said, "My son, bring me some of your game to eat, so that I may give you my blessing." Jacob brought it to him, and he ate. And he brought some wine, and he drank. Then his father Isaac said to him, "Come here, my son, and kiss me." So he went to him and kissed him. When Isaac caught the smell of his clothes, he blessed him and said, "Ah, the smell of my son is like the smell of the field that the Lord has blessed." May God give you heaven's dew and earth's richness, an abundance of grain and new wine. May nations serve you and people bow down to you. Be Lord over your brothers, and may the sons of your mother bow to you. May those who curse you be cursed, and those who bless you be blessed. Amen. So today's passage is the story of Jacob and Esau. As you saw from the first part of the passage, Jacob pretends to be his brother and serves Isaac the meal. Because Isaac was so old that he could not clearly see if he was Jacob or Esau, but he was able to differentiate them by the hair on Esau's arm. And of course, under Rebekah's guidance, he was fully disguised, that he put goat skin on his arm so that Isaac believed that he's Esau. Because he successfully deceived Isaac, Jacob received blessing. As I read this chapter, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to learn anything from this passage, because it was a story of deception. Rather, this time, I thought about the intention and reason for their deception. So between the twins, Isaac always favored Esau, and he was more manly than Jacob. On the other hand, Rebekah favored Jacob, and in fact, his personality was as not manly as Esau. Because Rebekah knew that Jacob was not getting what he was supposed to get, and Esau was getting all the blessings from Isaac, she worked to have Jacob earn the blessings. And I was conflicted whether I should believe this as a part of God's plan or just a humanly act of earning what they want. However, I decided to view the situation under God's plan. Though Jacob may seem more flawed, God still chose Jacob to fulfill the promise of Abraham. In worldly perspective, Esau seems more qualified to lead an honorable family line. However, he was careless about his birthright, that he so easily gave it to his brother, and he married a foreign woman, which means that he disregarded God's law. Jacob's deception of receiving Esau's blessing was also God's plan. As you can read from verse 20, it says, Isaac asked his son, "How did you find it so quickly, my son?" And Isaac said, "The Lord your God gave me success." So though the situation was part of earning Esau's blessing, Jacob was still faithful, and Jacob still believed in God, unlike Esau. So of course, even though Jacob was not perfect and has caused conflict with his brother that he has to resolve later, from this passage, we learn that every incident that's happening, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, happens under God's supervision and it's part of God's plan. Okay, let's pray. Dear God, thank you for today. Thank you for your word. Today we learned about Jacob and Esau and how Jacob earned his blessing through deceiving his father. God, help us to understand your intention of the story and guide us as we read your word. God, we thank you, we love you. In your name I pray, amen.